Hi, my name's Lucy and welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm going to share with you today some tips on how to choose the right IVF clinic. So I've been through the IVF process and it has been one of the most intense thing I've ever done, so both physically and mentally, that I've ever done to my body. And one of the most important decisions that me and my partner needed to make was choosing the right clinic that was going to meet our needs, and then it's ultimately going to impact on the treatment process. You're watching this and it's going to help, or you're watching it and you watch all the way through, or you're just watching it for shits and giggles, it would be amazing if you could click the subscribe button and give me a thumbs up. Thank you. So tip number 1 is to research local clinics. So I just wanted a clinic that would had amazing reviews and had amazing success rates. So I was looking at these clinics which were like 2-3 hours away. So I'm based in Wales and I was willing to travel to like London and even further than that. But what I didn't take into consideration was, like, after I researched a little bit, delved into a little bit more, that you'll be going to the clinic to meet with a team. Then you'll be doing like initial blood tests. I went in for an Endeutelmeitel, I think that's how you pronounce it, scratch, egg collection, scans. Then if that all goes well, then you'll be going in for an embryo transfer, and then fingers crossed if that goes well, then you'll be going in back and then for scans and further blood tests. So on one occasion I thought there was going to be a week's gap between appointments, but I had a good reaction to the medication. I was back in 3 days' time. So for me, it wouldn't have been financially feasible to be travelling back and forth up to London, and I've also got a dog, so it was just completely out of the question. So it's just important to have a clinic that's kind of local and easy to get to. 2 is success rates. So I became obsessed with finding a clinic that had through the roof success rates. I wanted to guarantee like this treatment was going to work. But when I looked into it a little bit further, some of these clinics, this one clinic for instance that I was looking at, wouldn't accept anyone that was older than 33. Then other clinics would pump you full of medication just to get a good amount of eggs, but then with that increased amount of medication, you're kind of at a risk of your ovary torsion, and your ovaries becoming overstimulated. So I think it's just to be careful, because the way in which some clinics obtain the success rates isn't a fair reflection on how they do the treatment process. My clinic was very open and honest when I met with them, and oh, it's a bit of sunlight. I met with them and asked about the success rates, and the consultant explained to me that they don't advertise the success rates because it all depends on the individual. So he said some women respond well to the medication, some don't, they need a little bit more intervention. So it's kind of like they felt it was unfair for them to advertise the success rates when it was all very individualized and all based on the person. So number 3, ask around. So ask your family, your friends, read reviews and get a good vibe for the clinic. I mean, you're putting your body through essentially quite a lot, so it's important that you're gonna have a friendly and caring support network when you go to the clinic. So we were very fortunate. My cousin's husband had a friend who worked in the clinic, so this clinic became highly recommended. But as soon as we walked through the door, they were so caring and friendly, and it had like such a warm atmosphere, and we were just like, this clinic seems amazing. And then we met with a consultant and he was just so open and honest. We were like, we definitely wanted to do the treatment at the clinic. So I think it's very important to choose a clinic that's gonna meet your needs, because it's such an intense time and you need as much support and kindness as possible. So number 4, so that's cost. So we went private. If you're going privately and you have to pay for your treatment, obviously it needs to be affordable. We were going to get married back in the COVID days, and our wedding got cancelled the day before the first lockdown. So we had a pool of money that we used for the IVF treatment, but it was that we had that money readily available for us to use, which came in handy. But our IVF treatment came at more expensive than the wedding would have been. So some of these, when you're looking at the IVF treatments, take in consideration that the total cost may not include like your blood tests, your medication, and your scans. You may have to pay on top of that. So if you fall in love with an IVF clinic and you think, oh, I just can't afford this, have a look on this site, and even get in contact with them and ask if they do payment plans, because sometimes you may not have to pay the full amount in total. You may be able to pay in installments. Your body. So that's the end of my tips. And it's just a little note to say that IVF is no joke. It is so intense what you put your body and your mind through, and I had no inclination. I had a friend who was doing IVF before I started the treatment process, and I didn't realise it was going to involve like numerous appointments, all this medication. I had no idea. So make sure you just research thoroughly, and the clinic is so important. So research the clinic just to make sure it's going to meet your needs. So if you managed to watch the video all the way through, just thank you so much. And it'd be amazing if you give me a thumbs up or subscribe. Have a good day.